Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Okay, you're heading off cruising, you have your beautiful cabin on the cruise ship. Well, there are some things that you definitely should never do in your cruise cabin, and I'm going to give you 10 of them in this video. Number one, remember you don't know where you are. And by that I mean, you go to bed at night, the cabin steward, he closes the curtains so you're not woken up by the sunshine in the morning and on your face, you get to sleep in, do whatever you want to do. And overnight you pull into a cruise port. And you end up parking about 30 feet away from another cruise ship. And if you're like some people who, come out of the shower, go for a shower, come out, and then you walk up to the curtains and you fly those curtains open. Yeah, there's a couple things that could be standing there looking at you. First of all, it could be another ship right across the way staring directly at you. It could be a crew member out there washing the windows. It could be any number of things going on in that cruise port at the time. You want to make sure that you're fully covered and you're not exposing yourself to the visual eyes of people around you. I've even opened up the curtain and, and the person in the balcony next to me was on the edge, right on the edge like this, leaning over. And when I opened up the curtain, he looked like this and looked back at me. You never know who's looking in your cabin. So always make sure, remember, you don't know where you are. Don't just fling those curtains open, especially if you just stepped out of the shower, because you could be all over social media with person exposes himself on a cruise ship, and you don't want that kind of media attention. While we're on the topic of balconies, another thing you do, don't prop open your balcony door and then leave your cabin. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one reason is it can turn off your air conditioning. So you just get that fresh air in the morning, you prop it open, you go out for a coffee and everything, you forget, you leave it open. You come back after a long day and the cabin is sitting in the sun and the sun's there, it's 95 degrees, it's humid, it's muggy, and you come back from your shore excursion and your air conditioning has not been working all day and your room is 1,000 degrees. So yeah, don't prop it open, otherwise your air conditioning just isn't going to be working. A lot of ships will shut it off when the balcony door is open. And another thing you don't want to do is prop that door open at any time and then open your front door, especially when the ship is moving, because it creates a huge suction. People have been hit with those doors slamming shut and dislocating their shoulders and smashing them in the face, breaking their nose. It can be jarring how much. You'll hear somebody who's done that. All of a sudden you'll hear a door bang really loud from your cabin. And you can tell that's nobody just closing the door. That's somebody who left their balcony door open and the suction just went like this. And it's very dangerous. Many people have hurt themselves. And so yeah, don't keep that patio door propped open. Keep it closed, especially when it's a sea day and the ship is moving. Number 4, this should go without saying, but it still has to be said. Don't do anything that has open flames. Don't light candles. Most candles will be caught and confiscated on board. You have those flame lighters that you light the candles with. They'll be confiscated because the worst possible scenario on a cruise ship is an open flame. Because there's all kinds of redundancies in the whole cruise ship. If there's water coming on or anything like that, they can block off the water, they can block off section. Fire jumps and spreads, and it's harder to control. And it's the worst thing that can happen on a cruise ship, an out of control fire. So yeah, they don't want open flames, they don't want people lighting things, they don't want hot plates, they don't want irons, they don't want steamers, they don't want anything that could possibly catch fire in the cruise cabin, especially open flame candles. Number 6, always use your safe. For everything valuable to you. If you have expensive jewelry you like to wear on formal nights, or you have cash on you, or you have a watch that's very expensive, or even your passports, put it in the safe every single day, because only take it out when you need. You don't want any temptation of anybody walking in and taking that. Now, I'm not talking stewards for your cabin. That's probably not going to go well. They'll probably be able to track that person down. But a lot of times when they're cleaning the room, they prop it open, they grab your sheets, and they walk out, they put it out, they carry it down to the laundry area, they come back in, they take your trays, they bring it to another area, and while they're doing that, your cabin door is open. And anybody can run in, grab something that's just sitting there, and run out. If they can see it from the doorway, they can take it very quickly from the doorway. So use your safe. Keep your valuables safe in the safe. That was very corny. Another one you might not want to do is, hey, dry your clothes out on the balcony. I got a story about that, but if you go to almost every cruise ship I've ever been on, in your shower you have a hanging wire that you can pull across and hang, and you can dry your clothes in there, or there's hooks, or you can take those magnetic hooks with you, stick them on the wall, and dry your clothes that way. A lot of people like to hang them out on the railing because they say, oh, it's warm outside, they'll dry faster and everything, and they forget about it. I know one person who put out a bunch of clothes, and I mean a bunch of their clothes, probably 80% of everything they had with them. They put it out, they washed it in the sink. They did that hand washing thing that you do with they bring on those laundry pads, and then they put it out on the balcony, and they left. They went for lunch and dinner, and they came back, and they had no clothes left. The wind had taken everything and blown it out to sea. There are some very well-dressed mermaids and mermen and fish out there in the sea to this day because that person hung them on the balcony. If you're going to do that, at least find some way to secure them to those balconies. But best of all, use something else. Hang them inside. It'll take longer, but hey, at least you'll have them when they are dry. Here's one that's kind of like a consideration for your room steward captain. If you order food or bring food back to your room and there's a bunch of you and you all eat, do them one favor. At the end of the time when you're finished eating, put everything all back together again in one area. I will always take my tray and I will set it on the small table that's in your room, and I will put everything that has to go to the room steward on there, from plates to drinks that I've had to empty glasses, etc. Everything goes on there, the napkins, it's in one place. They're not picking it up from all over my cabin. That takes a lot of time. And basically, try and keep your cabin as neat as possible. If they come in and you have jeans and sweatshirts and everything thrown on the bed, and there's clothes on the couch and socks on the floor and everything, think of how hard it is for that steward to clean that room, because they don't know what they're allowed to touch. Are they allowed to pick up your jeans and move them off your bed? Will you think they're going through your pockets and stealing money from you, looking for money? Just try and keep it as clean as possible. Not spotless or anything, but tidy. So it makes it easier for them to come in and clean your room, and then you don't have to wait a long time if you come back and they're in your room. They'll be in and out in a jiffy. They'll just refresh things, and you'll be on your way. So yeah, try and keep your cabin tidy as much as possible. Keep all your discarded food and everything and trays in one area. Pick it up and away they go. How much faster is that, and how much more considerate would they think you are as a guest? This one has to be said as well. I was on balconies before. Well, this one, how about don't behave badly on your balcony? Remember, you have neighbors. Don't play loud music at inappropriate times on the cruise ship balcony. 2 o'clock in the morning, do not be blaring your music out there because you're having a good time and feeling pretty good and you have speakers and everything going. You're going into Glacier Bay. Don't play loud music in Glacier Bay when people are trying to hear the cracking and everything of the glaciers. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't behave. Don't climb up on your balcony railing, hang over the edge for a selfie. Don't behave badly on your balcony. right? You can get out there, you can talk, you can do things like that, but be considerate of everybody because you're outdoors and you're basically an apartment block and everybody can hear everything. So be considerate of other people and hopefully they'll be considerate of you. Number 9, the toilets. What do you mean, Don? The toilets. Toilet's the toilet. Yeah, a little bit different on a cruise ship because of the way the plumbing system works. There's signs everywhere. Please only use the bathroom tissues and whatever you need to do in the toilet, in the toilet. Don't be flushing anything else. Don't be flushing, feminine products in the toilet. Don't be flushing the Kleenexes that are in your room in the toilet. Put them in the waste paper basket. Those things can bunch up. A lot of people think it's just like a house and you got the big wide pipes in it. No, sometimes the pipes going in are this thin. And so it's very easy to clog a toilet in the cruise ships. And trust me, you don't want your toilet clogged up because if it gets clogged up, it's backing up into your room all over the floor and it will make everything smell horrible for the rest of your cruise. Not only that, it can affect the people below you. It can affect all the people around you. I've heard stories of somebody put a food item, clogged up the toilet, and it flooded 9 cabins. So yeah, only what's supposed to go in the toilet, please put it in the toilet. And the rest, put it somewhere else. There's lots of waste in your cabin to dispose of those kind of things. And finally, let's be considerate of everybody if you're in your cabin. Don't be really, really loud. Don't play your TV or computer at full blast at 3 in the morning because those walls in those cruise cabins are paper thin. You can hear people just chatting normally as they walk by your door. And there's a lot of stories out there of people who have been caught doing things romantically by all their neighbors and things like that. In fact, one couple got banned because they were so loud in their lovemaking on a cruise ship. They actually got banned from the ship. They were so loud. Basic rule of thumb, put things where they're supposed to be put in and have consideration for other people and remember your surroundings because you never know who's looking, who's listening when you're in your cabin. Well, I hope you appreciate this little bit lighthearted of things not to do in your cruise cabin. If you did, why not give the video a thumbs up? Maybe check that notification button and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.